Welcome back to the show. Joining us now to talk sex and relationships is sexologist Dr. Limor Blockman. Hi, Limor. Thanks so much for coming on today.
Yes.
We're going to cover two topics. The first is sexual destiny beliefs. What is this?
I know, it sounds so bombastic.
What is this?
I know, yes, I know. So actually, they went and examined if people think that someone they found is their actual soulmate, how do they relate to their activity in the bedroom and relational things in general. And they went and they asked the sexual destiny group. They actually believed that struggles in a sexual relationship equals breaking up the relationships. So in other words, they believe that if there's some form of struggle within it, it's not going to sustain. And then the second group was actually a sexual growth group. That believe that in order to have a good sexual relationship, you have to work, which is, it makes a lot of sense. And they went and examined how, how does it work in a relationship. And of course, the result, I'm sure you can guess, that the sexual growth group actually succeeded in much better sex and much better relationship. The exchange was much better. And there are many factors that come into mind when you think about it. Because, when you think, first of all, I want to say that the childs of destiny, the ones that actually believed, oh, it's my soulmate, everything has to be a fairy tale, it wasn't really that it was detrimental and they're going to fail, but everything was very fragile. So for instance, if they had a disagreement about a sexual encounter, or he wanted, she didn't want, or vice versa, everything seemed doomed and, the end of it. So really it brings you to think, what is the correlation, what is happening there? So for one, if you believe in something that is meant to be and everything is like from above, you don't take responsibility over it.
Right. And this can apply to many factors of life.
Of course, it's very true. So if you don't take responsibility, you don't risk anything. You don't risk anything, you don't gain anything. So basically, it's really logical that the other group was making much more progress and having a better relationship and a better sex, and everything was going well because they actually invested in it and believed that they can create something in this relationship.
Well, as they were called, the sexual growth group. And growth.
Yes.
They move beyond it.
Right. What to do about it if you are in the group that actually believes in a soulmate, which is not bad. I just want to say that, you have to keep in mind that it's not everything that there is.
Right.
So what to do, really, trust your partner, be verbal about it, have a communication, and first of all, demand from yourself before you demand from your partner. That is something very important, because we tend to ask for things from our partner that we don't ask from ourselves.
Yeah.
And since we have, from match made in heaven to match made online, so I want to relate to our next topic. And that is very, very interesting, I thought. So Utah's Desert News poll that actually related to something they call 10 Today Project, which is a project that examines our relation to anything that has to do with the 10 Commandments.
Okay.
I find it fascinating.
It's really
How do we keep the 10 Commandments these days? Very interesting. So they actually went and examined all these things, and one of them was, you shall not philander. So what is considered cheating? And I'm sure you can assume that there was a difference between men and women in this regard. And I wanted to say something before I give you some statistics that we came across, but it was actually very clear that men, when men first of all put much less emphasis on cheating. This doesn't consider cheating, while women were much more intense about, oh, this is cheating.
Okay.
And overall, in general, if there were things that were actually considered black and white, if I sleep with someone else, that's cheating, men and women were very close. But as soon as we came to the gray area, where things were questionable, I'm not sure, men were very low on the statistics, and women were very high. So I'll give you a few of them. Having regular sexual relations with someone else, we had 74 versus 78, so you see it's pretty close. Having a one-night stand with someone other than your partner was 70 to 75. Sending sexual explicit messages to someone other than your partner, 63 to 74, and so
women
forth.
tend to feel that things are more so cheating than men do generally. This is what we can
in general. And I went and examined what people thought about gender-wise.
Well, we unfortunately don't have time for that. Possibly next week.
Okay, definitely.
Thank you so much for this. Really fascinating stuff.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we'll bring you a new tourist trend that may inspire your next vacation. Stay tuned.